Which one we're going in? Caravan?
What's going on, everyone? Mimic here with another video, and this one is going to be a Sadge video. I apologize in advance, but it's a Sadge day. It's officially over.
Which one? You want a good
NC
time?
Soft did a re-verification slash OTP authentication on the entire server list, and a lot of people lost access to their accounts. And I'm going to get into why in a minute, but this one's going to be a longer video. I'm actually going to take this time since a lot of people lost access to their accounts, and it's officially over for people that were not playing in the Korea region. Wanted to make this video.
Yeah.
Just gonna let some B-roll kind of play out through the video while I chat over it, so you guys can watch some gameplay. But essentially, they did an OTP reauth, and a lot of people lost their accounts. They weren't able to re-authenticate their accounts with single sign-in OTP, and they lost their accounts. So, excuse me. So I wanted to take this time to just talk a little bit about the game, my review of the game, what I think about the game, things to look out for, and hopefully this video is a brief overview of everything that the game offers in its current state, and hopefully will offer in the new state when it's released in North America. With that being said, I want to thank every single viewer who watches my videos. I can't tell you how many times I was DM'd in game saying, "Oh, I watch your videos. Thank y'all so much for the support." If you guys ever DM'd me and I never got back to y'all in the game, I apologize. I have a lot of my chat settings restricted because there's a lot of spammers and stuff. But if I ever killed you in the game and you watch my videos, I apologize. I feel terrible about it. I'm so sorry. If you guys DM'd me and gave me some props on the videos, thank you so much for your support. If I ever played with you in the game and you were in my party, thank you again for playing, and thanks for watching my videos. It's actually insane because I started this YouTube video channel 2 weeks ago, and already people are complimenting me on my videos, and there's a lot of people joining the guild saying, "Oh, it's Mimic," and it's just a cool experience. So I just wanted to take the time to thank you guys all individually and let you know that I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate you guys watching the videos and subbing to my channel and commenting. It means a lot to me, and it's the reason why I continue to make the content, because I know you guys actually enjoy it. So thanks again. Let's jump into the video. So my overview on the graphics. The graphics are insane in this game. I play on high everything, not even on epic. And it's literally the best looking game MMO I've played. You could argue BDO looks better. In some aspects it does, but I mean, BDO is just a different type of game, right? It's been released since like forever, and this is a newer game. It's running on Unreal 4. There's people saying that it may be released in NA and Unreal 5, and that it could always be updated to Unreal 5 later on. I'm telling you guys, if you guys have a medium to high end a PC, maybe you've got like a 30 series graphics card or higher with like an i9 or higher, which is what I'm running, this game not only runs smooth as heck, but it looks beautiful. This game is gorgeous looking. So on the graphics, I'm gonna have to give it a 10. I think the graphics are a 10. I wouldn't change anything about the way the game looks. To me, it's the perfect looking game. Looks great on my screen. Plays very smooth in game. Doesn't matter how many people are in frame. It could be 100 people. It could be 10 people. The game runs very optimized. It's super optimized. Hopefully, Amazon doesn't make any changes to the game once it's released, because in its current state, it's beautiful. 10 out of 10. Leveling review. So leveling is pretty straightforward. It takes about, I mean, if you're playing it, you know, I would say 6 to 12 hours a day, which is a lot of game time for most people. It's going to take you a few days to level to 50. I would say it took me 4 days to level to 50, and I was grinding the absolute heck out of the game. So I was playing 12 plus hours a day. Took me 4 days. There was a lot of things that I did that kind of prolonged the time that I had been trying to level. I could have leveled way quicker if I would have known some things, but I kind of did some side things and it delayed the process. So I would say if you're hardcore playing this game, like no lifing it, trying to get to 50 as soon as you can, you can get it in about 3 days. Now there are people that can do it in one day. I have no idea how they do that. That's just insane. Or 2 days, which is still insane. I would say 3 days is probably going to be how fast you can get to level 50, and then the real game actually opens up after that, when you're grinding for your gear, when you're grinding for your traits, when you're grinding for your best in slot things. So 3 to 4 days is what I would say for a pretty hardcore player to get to 50. If you're casual and you can't, play the game that much, and you're playing maybe 2 to 4 hours a day, it's going to take you about a week, maybe about a week to level to 50, maybe longer. It just depends how fast you want to get through the content. But the main storyline quest is pretty easy. It's just little quests that you do. It's very simple quests that you do. You just follow the purple line quest and you'll get to 50 in no time. So leveling, I would say I enjoyed it. I would give it a solid 8 to 9 on the leveling. Pretty straightforward. Nothing really was too challenging. The bosses were fun. The quests were cool. And I like the way that the story kind of, you went through the story and you checked out different areas of the map. So it's really cool how they implemented that. So I'm going to give it a solid 8. A solid 8 on the leveling. It's a pretty cool experience, to be honest. And not difficult, which is why I'm going with the 8. The weapon and armor system. So very cool. I like the weapon and armor system in this game a lot better than most games. You can transfer all the XP that you get on your armors and your weapons, so you don't lose anything. The only thing that you would lose is your traits. Whatever traits you had on your last weapon or armor get they go away once you transfer all of the XP to the newer weapon or armor. And it's a really cool system. Once you start leveling your gear, you level it pretty quick. The green ones, the blue ones, and well, you can see that I was BMing a little bit there. Actually, we were BMing there because we thought we were all gonna get banned off the game and not be able to re-auth. So we were kind of just letting it hang out there. Sorry about that. Sorry about the BM, man. I do apologize. But yeah, the weapon and armor system is really cool. I'm gonna give it a solid 8, 9 as well. It's well developed. It's pretty straightforward. You just you buy your armors, you buy your weapons, or you craft your weapons, you craft your armors, and then you level them with stones that the game gives you. Then from there, as they get stronger, you can decide if you want to turn the blues to purples, and then eventually the purples to legendaries once those come out. So I'm gonna give it a solid 8. On a solid 8, 9 on the leveling system for the gear. I think it's pretty sweet. Now, guild events and activities. So this game, and I've made a video on this already. If you haven't checked that out, it's called Why You Should Join a Guild. You should check it out. It's very thorough. But this game is going to give you a lot of perks for joining a guild. And honestly, if you're not in a guild, you're missing out on like 80% of the content, 80% of the things that you benefit from in the game. Every day you play the game, there's going to be guild content you can do. These events that you're watching now is a PvP event, and it's a conflict event, meaning it's guild versus guild in this event. And what you're supposed to do in this event is kill the mobs around you. They drop like an artifact, and then you take that artifact and you give it to one of the merchants that are listed around the map, and they give you ranking. They give you points or coins, and then at the end of the event, which is I think 15 minutes or 20 minutes for the event, they give you your rewards, and the more coins you have, the more rewards you get. So you can see where it would benefit to be in a guild, because you and all your cronies could get together, 6, 10, 20, 50 people could come into a zone as a guild and ward off any other opposing guild or opposing solo players that are trying to either gank you while you're getting your materials, or if they're trying to just come and zerg on you, right? So it's definitely more beneficial to join a guild, because you're going to have bigger content that you can join, that ultimately is going to be more fun, because you get to strategize with your guild members, your party members, and get better at PvP and just enjoy the game more. So if you're not in a guild, I would highly recommend you guys get in a guild if you're looking to join a guild in the NA guild. I'm sorry, when NA releases, I have a link in my description. I have created a Discord for a guild that I am thinking about leading, but it depends on a lot of things. I want to be able to make sure I'm giving out content on YouTube every day. I want to make sure that I'm able to lead content every day, and just depending on my work schedule and things like that, I may or may not lead a guild. But if you join the Discord and you play on the server that I'll be playing on, I'll get you in the guild that I join. And I'm thinking about, if I'm not able to actually create my own guild, then I'm going to be joining a top 5 guild for sure. I play with a lot of streamers and content creators right now, and they got big names, and we've already chatted about what our strategy is come NA launch, what we want to do, the content we want to create, and which guilds and which servers we're looking to join. So if everything goes smoothly, we're all going to be playing again together, and it's going to be a great time. So if you're looking to join a community with people who have played the game already, you're going to have questions, and you want to play with people who know their stuff, do yourself a favor, in the description, join my Discord channel. It's a great way to stay in touch with me. It's currently not that active because I'm not in it that much, because NA hasn't launched, but I did create it as a safe haven for my community members, my viewers, watchers, subscribers, and likers to join if they're interested. So make sure you join that and just hang out, keep it on your Discord channel there, and when NA launches comes out, I'll be releasing more information on that channel, so that you guys can be kept up to date with me and everything that I've got going on. So yeah, guild event and activities, I would say 9. It's a 9 on this game. I love the Zerg vs Zerg content. It's going to come down to members, right? The more Zerg you are, the more powerful you're going to be. And I love that type of content. Some people don't like the Zerg versus Zerg mentality. They think it's kind of cheesy and it's not fair. This game, it's not meant for those type of people, unfortunately. This is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg type of game. It's going to be one of those kind of games where, it's best versus best, and if you're not first, you're last, kind of thing. So I'm gonna give it a solid 9 on the guild activities. If anything, probably a 10, to be honest, if I'm being honest with you. I love the guild the guild aspect of the game. I think it's huge, and they really give you a lot of rewards for being in a guild, and I love it. So I'm gonna get it a 9 or a 10. Okay. PvP, this one's mixed. So what I noticed is, first off, PvP is amazing in this game. If you like tab targeted games, this is gonna hit home for you for sure. PvP is straightforward, right? It's like most games. Range is always going to have some type of advantage over melee, because they can hit you from farther, which means they can kite you. So if you're getting kited by a lot of range, whether that's going to be casters or that's going to be ranged bow users, it's hard to close the gap if you don't have a gap close, which means it's going to be hard for you as melee to actually get damage on target. So from my experience playing Greatsword Dagger, I've had a great time with it. I've got great CC on when I'm PvPing. I've got great escape with my invisibility. So my recommendation is, if you're going to be doing a lot of PvP, play a tune that's got some type of escape, because if you get stun locked in PvP, you're done. I mean, you're going to get blown up by 20 people focusing you, and your health is going to disappear instantly. So PvP, I'm gonna give it a solid 8. There are things they need to work on. The attribute system, like, I feel like I have decent evasion and I have a lot of skill damage resistance, but I really don't feel it that much in PvP, and I can't tell if it's working or not. When I get stun locked, I mean, I'm just getting I'm getting messed up. People are DPSing the heck out of me, and I'm dying pretty quick. But I mean, that's to be expected, right? You're getting hit by multiple people that are critting on you. You're gonna die. So I'm gonna give it a PvP in this game a solid 8. It's not the best 100% PvP in the world that I've ever played, but it's up there, top 5, easy. If you like PvP games, this is definitely gonna hit a certain hit a home run with you. I love the PvP in this game. The graphics are great. All the effects are great. Everything about it, I love it. I'm gonna give it a solid 8, maybe an 8.5 if they could fix some things. And yeah, that's my take on PvP. you rarely get a 1v1, right? There's always someone else. There's always a party member near. So if you're looking for a fair fight, this isn't the game for you. It's always going to be, you know, 8 versus 10 or 5 versus 20. Like it doesn't matter. Like you can see us rolling right now. It's about 10 of us right now, 10 or 15 of us right now against just a handful of enemies. That's just how the game is. So, you know, if you like that type of tap target combat, quick combat, you're really gonna enjoy this game. I'm gonna give it a solid 8. Okay. Loot drops. So the loot drops in the game, I don't know if it's just KR, and that's how it's set up for KR people, because I know Korean people love the grind, and you know BDO is a super grindy game. But the loot drops are very low. Like there's people saying that it's 0.0001. I mean, you do not get loot as much as you would think in this game. It's very hard to farm lithographs. I mean, my brother plays the game. He farmed 7 hours for a lithograph and he got it. Other people have farmed days for certain items and they just don't drop. There's certain items in the game that have such a low drop rate that, you know, you will see the item in the market like once every like week and then it instantly sells because people want the drop. I don't mind that. You know, the game is gonna try to cap you on what drops are available because they don't want everyone to have the best gear in the game. That makes sense. I can appreciate that, right? You don't want everyone to have all max gear and then the game just dies out because everyone's just cheese. So I can agree with having a low drop rate, but they should increase it a little bit because it's a little discouraging when you're trying to get a certain item, whether that's dungeon farming or you're doing the open world instances and you're trying to get some type of item and it just never comes. So on the loot drops, compared to other games that I've played where, you know, you're farming certain items or certain mobs for a loot drop and you get it, I'm gonna give it like a 7 or a 6.5. Let's just go 6.5 on loot drops. I think they do need to tweak that. Again, I don't know, it could be with KR version, it's just super grindy. Maybe they'll change it up on the Westerner version and increase the loot drop rate. So yeah, I mean, loot drops, I'm gonna say 6.5, right? They can work on it. But again, it's a long-term type of game. It's a grindy MMO, so that's just my personal opinion. I don't mind it. Other people may not like it. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 on the loot drops. Now, dungeons. Dungeons are really cool. Again, right now in its current state, you can play dungeons 3 times a day, where you can get the box that drops the loot, where you can choose your weapon. And prior to the way they had it set up, you could only do 2 dungeons a day, and before you couldn't choose your weapon. You had to actually just get lucky, RNG drop, and the dungeon itself would have to give you the weapon that you wanted. They changed that because people were complaining that it was just too hard, too grindy to find the drops. They were only giving you 2 dungeons a day. Now they give you 3, and now they give you a box that you can get, where if you get the box, then you're able to actually choose. You can choose the weapon that you want. So it's much easier to get the weapons, end game weapons that you want in a dungeon now, because they're giving you that option via the box drop. So the dungeons are fun. They can be repeatable, but it's not a bad time. If you're with your friends, you can clear it in no time. I think we do the Ant Cave of Destruction. The boss itself only takes 7 minutes, and then the other content takes about another 10 minutes or so. So it's about, it would say less, sub 30 minutes, you know, 25 minutes, you're clearing a dungeon. You can do 2 dungeons an hour. It's a good time. It gets it's very easy once you get stronger. You know, you're going to start the dungeons weak because you don't have any gear, and it's going to be much more challenging. The mechanics are going to be harder, and a lot of people are getting one shot because it's just harder. You're not geared out as much. You know, you don't have as much health, you don't have as much defenses, you don't have as much damage because your weapons are not traded out, or you don't have good weapons yet, so you don't do a lot of DPS. So when you first start doing the dungeons, they're going to be challenging, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy all the different dungeons that the game has. Again, I don't know what it's going to release come NA. There may be different dungeons, they may change the mechanics. Who knows? But if the game releases the way it is in in NA the way it is in KR. I know you guys are going to enjoy the dungeons. Again, I haven't made a lot of videos on the dungeons. I've only covered the Cave of Destruction dungeon, but there are quite a few different dungeons. I will make those videos, but I don't have them out currently. And the reason we do Cave of Destruction dungeon is because it's the fastest and easiest dungeon to clear, at least for us. There's another dungeon called Death Abyss. That one's a very easy dungeon as well, but we prefer to do the cave. I just feel like the drops in the cave are for some reason they're like overtuned. You're getting more drops doing the cave in our testing, but then again that could just be our RNG, right? We just have good RNG in the cave. I feel like every 2 or 3 runs I do in the cave I'm getting something there, which is great. So dungeons, I'm gonna give them a solid 8. I think it's a solid 8 on the dungeons. And I think it's a great feature of the game to give you something to strive against when you're playing it daily, and it gives you content to run with you and your friends every day, where you can progress your champion via getting gear, or getting gear that comes with best in slot traits that you can trade up your gear, or if you're already traded up and you don't need the gear piece, you can disenchant and take the trait off the item, and then you can sell it on the market for lucent. So it doesn't matter what's going on through your character progression, you're always going to be progressing in some way, shape, or form. So dungeons, solid 8. Traits are huge in this game. I've made a few videos on traits because it's a big you know, a lot of people have a lot of questions on the traits and they don't really understand how it works, but it's very straightforward. I have made a few different videos on traits. If you haven't looked at those videos, please check them out. Again, some more BM there because we thought we were all going to get banned, but we were not. I apologize about that. I'm usually not a BMer, but I had to throw shade. Everyone was throwing shade. Even people that don't throw shade were throwing shade. So there's some stuff that went on definitely the last hour of the server time. We were killing some people that we were quote unquote supposedly allied with. They were no longer allies for this last hour, let's just say that. But yeah, again, apologize about the BM. So yeah, traits is huge, right? I think it's a great system. The only thing about traits is it's very pay to win. So if you've got money, you can just swipe, you can get lucent, you can get the lucent and buy the best traits so that you can trade your purples up quickly. It's going to be pay to win 100%. There's no way around it. I haven't made a video on the pay to win aspects yet, but traits are 100% pay to win. There's just no way around it. You can either pay to win and swipe, get a lot of lucent, and then buy the best in slot traits for your weapons and armor, or you can just play the game, sell the items for lucent, and then use that lucent to buy the best traits on the market. So it is pay to win when it comes to the traits, but that doesn't bother me, right? Like if someone is dropping $1,000 on the game and they are getting the best traits in the game on all of their armors, it doesn't bother me. You know why? Because in PvP you're not 1v1ing. In PvP you're going to be in a war, and it's very easy to get CC'd and blown up. So I don't care that you have best in slot weapons and armors and everything's traded up and you're max everything. I don't care. The rare chance that I'm going to 1v1 you in a fight is probably less than 1%. And even if I do, I can pretty much hold my own anyways, being a free player. So don't think that this is so pay to win that you're just never going to have a good time, or you're just going to be outgunned or outbeat by the people that are pay to winning. I don't think that's the case. And again, I'm going to make another video on the pay to win aspect of the game and why I think it's pay to win, what things are pay to win. So stay tuned for that video, but I didn't want you guys to get discouraged on the pay to win system in the game, that being the traits. It's 100% pay to win. There's just no way around it. It's how the game works, right? If you want to make your best character and have all your character have the best weapon traits and the best armor traits in the game, they're gonna want to monetize that. So traits, I'm gonna go with the trait system. I like it a lot. I think it's a solid 8 as well. 8.5. I love the trait system. It's very thorough. There's a bunch of different gear that has all different trait systems in it, so depending on how you want to trait your character, you can figure out which gear pieces you want so that you can have all the traits that you're looking for in your final build. And it's very intuitive. The trait system is very easy to read and follow. So I'm going to give it a solid 8 to 8.5 on the traits. I love the trait system. I think they did a really good job with it. And if they keep things the way they are, then I'm pretty hyped about NA launch, because I'm going to already know what the best traits are that I'm going to need based on the character that I'm going to create. Again, if you haven't watched that video, check it out. I did release a few videos on my channel versus on regarding the traits, and you can see them on my playlist. So yeah, 8 to 8.5 on the traits. Now the marketplace. The marketplace is cool because you can only actually buy and sell. You can only buy things with Lucent, which is the premium in-game currency. The game you can buy with real money. So you can buy in-game premium currency called Lucent with real money. Or you can sell things that you get in drops, or you can disenchant your traits and sell those for Lucent and use that instead in lieu of having to buy Lucent with real cash. Now, the market's pretty straightforward, and the cool thing about the market is when you buy something from the market, you're not recycling the money that you're buying from NCSoft. You're actually giving that currency to someone else. So let's say I'm farming a mob for 8 hours, right? I finally get the drop that I want. It's got the best in slot trait. I disenchant the item and pull the trait off, and I list that trait on the market for 5,000 Lucent. Someone else is giving me their Lucent. I am earning a premium currency in game, or if someone swiped, I am earning the USD or whatever their currency is in their country. I'm earning that value in game. It's paying off to me in game to farm for those 8, 9, 10 hours for the drop. I'm not losing anything. The money that I'm getting is not just going back to NCSoft, or it's going to some random NPC. That money is going back into the economy, and it's helping the economy grow. So it's actually helping players when you use your Lucent, because that Lucent goes to their account, and then they can use that Lucent to buy other items that other people are listing, and then those people get the Lucent. So it's like an actual economy in the game, and I think it's a solid way to implement a world economy. So I'm gonna give it a 10. I think the market, the way it is perfect. It's player driven, so the players are the ones dictating the values of the items. You know, remember, something is only worth what someone else is willing to pay for it. So if there is an item on the auction house and it's 15,000 Lucent and it doesn't sell, and then the guy drops it down to 10,000 Lucent and it doesn't sell, and then eventually he drops it down to 7,000 Lucent and it sells, that's what the item is worth. It's worth 7,000. It's not just some random number that someone is putting up there and it's hoping that it's going to be sold for. There's actually player economics that go into it, and psychology that goes into it, and ultimately it's just a game of supply and demand, just like real life economics. If there's only one item in the game that's ever been dropped and that item is listed on the auction house, it's going to sell for high. If there's 100 items that are listed on the auction house and it's a common drop, it's going to sell for low. It's very similar to a real economy, but ultimately it's all about supply and demand. And I love the marketplace. I don't want them to change anything. There's people saying that they need to change it for NA because people aren't going to like the premium currency, but I think having the premium currency in the game is actually what makes this game. If they change that, I think the game would fail, to be honest. It's one of the main things that make this game worth playing, is being able to look and see how much premium currency you have, and just know that at any time you can either buy or sell anything on the market, make that Lucent, and then use that Lucent to progress your character with buying, you know, either armors or different traits. So on the market, I'm gonna give it a solid 10. I love the idea. I love the way the market is set up now. Please do not change it. Now, my final review of the game as a whole, having over 25 years of video game experience, having over 20 years of MMO experience, playing tons and tons and tons of different various video games, FPS games, MMO games, MOBA games. I mean, I've played so many games my entire life. I'm a 38-year-old man. Trust me, I've been through it. First game I ever played was Sonic. Well, actually, it was probably Mario, and then it was Sonic on Sega, and then I got the PlayStation, I got the Dreamcast. I got the Nomad, which was like a handheld, big old Game Boy kind of thing. You know, I've had every game system you can think of, PlayStation, all the PlayStations, all the Xboxes. I, you know, got into PC gaming in my early, like I was maybe like 16 when I got into PC gaming. First game I ever played was Counter-Strike, and then the list just goes on and on and on. And I've had many privileges and opportunities to play an assortment of video games. And I can tell you, this MMO, if in the state that it's in right now, if they would not change anything, I would say this is top 3 best MMOs that I've ever played, and probably top 5 or top 6 best games that I've ever played. My favorite game is Zelda Ocarina of Time. If you guys also like Zelda Ocarina of Time, let me know in the comment section. That's my favorite #1 game of all time. There will never be a game better than Zelda Ocarina of Time for me. I don't care what they release in the future. It just, that game holds a very special place to me. Just a beautiful game. But this game is in the list for top 5, top 6 easily. I mean, without question. I can't name games, too many games better than Throne of Liberty. And it's definitely, without question, top 3 best MMO that I've ever played. My favorite MMO would be Dark Age of Camelot. If you guys ever played it, let me know in the comment section. That's my favorite MMO. That's one of my first MMOs, outside World of Warcraft, of course, that I ever played. And I devoted so many hours to Dark Age of Camelot. I mean, you would not believe how many hours I played that game. And this game is on par with Dark Age of Camelot. If I had to choose, it would be damn near impossible for me to choose which game is better. I probably would side with Throne and Liberty. Although the reason that it would be hard for me is because Dark Age of Camelot, I have a lot of memories on Dark Age of Camelot. So for me, it holds a special place in my heart. But if I'm looking at it objectively, this game is, bar none, way better than Dark Age of Camelot in a lot of different reasons. But if I'm trying to be non-biased, yes, this is probably better than Dark Age of Camelot. But again, like I said, I'm a little biased because I have a lot of time on that game and met a lot of cool people, had a lot of cool memories, and had some really cool PvP interactions that kind of changed the way I looked at gaming in general. Like, wow, this is what gaming was meant to be, right? Huge PvP battles with people across the world, all together in this one instance, fighting for the same thing. This is what gaming is about. That's what Dark Age of Camelot was for me. But now that I've been playing Throne of Liberty, I just, it makes me feel like I'm playing a better version of Dark Age of Camelot. I mean, like I said, the graphics are amazing in the game. All the skills, the sound design is beautiful. The game is just very polished, very well. There are things they need to work on, of course, right? It's early release. There's going to be patches that they do. They've already been patching the game. They patched the game already a few times. They've changed some things. They fixed some bugs. So that's very cool that they're already doing that. I'm very excited for the game and a launch. I think you guys that are watching this video, watching other content with other content creators, watching my other content, you guys are in for a good surprise. You guys are going to be freaking addicted to this game. I mean, I'm a 38-year-old man. I got 2 kids. I got a wife. I got a house. I got a full-time job. And I can't stop playing this game. I'm DJing this game. It's Sadge, but I love it. It's a great game. It's gotten my attention, even though I'm 50 and I've got all this good gear. There's always something that you can do. You can be better at PvP. You can do the new dungeons that are coming out. You can get the newer weapons that are coming out. You can, get the better traits that you need. There's always something you can progress on, and I think this game has 100% replayability. You are not going to get bored playing this game. I've been playing it so much, and even when there's nothing to do in the game, there is always something to do, right? You can make an alt. You can level the alt up once all your contracts and all your dungeons are done and there's no events for 2 hours. Just make an alt, make another champ that you can play and run through. And you know, it's not like a mandatory thing. You can just do it for fun, and when the content comes back, just play your main. So there's always something to do in the game. It doesn't get stale. I haven't felt that stale. You know, I haven't felt that yet in the game. And I want to give you guys my final review before I wrap it up. I know this was a longer video, but it's a review video. It's going to be longer. It's going to be more in depth. I want to make sure I talk a lot about how I feel about the game and things that I like about the game. And I want you guys to see it and hear it from me so that you guys can understand what my state of mind is moving forward, and what you guys can be looking forward come NA launch. So my final review of the game, if I'm going to put it from a 1 through 10, I'm going to give this game in its current state a solid 9. This game is a freaking 9 in my book. There are little things and tweaks and certain things they could do to make it a 10, but honestly, in this day and age, playing a 9 MMO is almost unheard of. There's always something that's wrong with the MMO that makes it kind of doo-doo, right? And this game, to me, my personal opinion, I don't care what anyone else says. I don't care what any other content creator says. I don't care what anything you guys have watched on anything else. My personal opinion is a 9. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really appreciate all the comments and support. And yes, just to let you guys know, my account is okay. Like I said, I play legit. So I still play the game. There's still going to be content coming out of the game. Don't worry about that. I'm still in the game. Everything's fine. A lot of our members, though, did get weren't able to come back into the game. And I think we lost at least 30% of our entire forces. One of the guilds that we play with, Buff MP, HMP, they all could not get back in, and we were alliance with one of the biggest alliances in the guild called Clappin' Cheek. Shout out if you're watching my videos, any of you guys. I heard there was only one out of their entire guild. Only one person had a verified account. So rip Clappin'. If you're watching the videos, let me know in the comment section. It's been a pleasure playing with all of you guys. If you're watching, if you've played with me in any parties, if you've DM'd me in the game, if you're in my guild or you're in my alliance, it's been an absolute pleasure playing with you guys. This game definitely has a special place in my heart, and I wish everyone a great time when the game comes out in NA. Again, please join my Discord if you'd like to link up with me or any of my guild members. You know, we're trying to figure out how we're gonna, you know, if we're gonna be playing, you know, in our own guild, or if we're gonna be joining another guild, Bass Alliance, when NA launches. If they're gonna be central servers, Eastern or Western, we don't know yet. Not a lot's been released on the NA launch, but we are definitely all staying together as content creators, because we want to make sure that we are playing together. We enjoy each other a lot. It's a lot of fun, and ultimately, it's just a great freaking time. So, ultimate 9, easy 9 on this game. Love the game, have nothing but good things to say about the game. I'm having a blast playing it. I'm going to be releasing more content here in the future for you guys on the game. I want to thank all my viewers one more time for watching my watching my channel, watching my videos. I want to thank all the people who take time out of their day to comment on all my videos. I want to thank all the people who have subbed to me this past 2 weeks. You guys have been amazing. My channel has been growing like crazy. I'm getting tons of views on all my videos, and I know a lot of people are enjoying the content. So thank you so much for all of the support. I'm going to be making some more videos I've got lined up this week. I'm going to be talking a lot more about the game in depth, but I wanted to give you guys a review of the game. I have over 115, 120 hours logged into it, so I thought it was time for me to give you guys an honest review of how I feel about the game. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope you guys took something from the video, and if you guys have any comments, just chunk them in the comment section and I will get to you at my earliest. Again, please like the video. I'm going for 200 likes, guys. Let's do 200 likes on this video. Let's get it pumped out to all the other people that are into Throne of Liberty, and let's grow the community together. Thank you guys so much. Until I see you next time, much love. Peace out.
That one's a little bit scarier.